racing immediately. But a champion becomes a legend. Maccabi Diva wins it again.
Yes, yes, yes. Wins the Everest. Glen Boss wins another big one.
What about coaching for the Broncos, though? Enjoyed that?
I loved it, Bossy, and I'm really proud of what happened there for me as a coach. I know I got the arse, but, for my 4 years, when I walked into the building, they were last. I remember poor old Matty Middleton, our, gear steward, picking up the wooden spoons, off Red Hill where fans had thrown them into that mess, into a grand final. I reckon that's pretty good going.
In a very short time.
In 3 years, yeah.
Yep.
So, for me, I feel like, I've often heard Wayne and Craig say this and many coaches about leaving the place better than when you first arrived. And I certainly did that. But unfortunately, the powers that be didn't feel like I was the right person to take them to win the grand final. Yeah. So I get that as well. That's their decision.
But as a spectator, as a big avid Broncos, I felt proud to be a Bronco again.
Yeah.
When you were coaching, it felt like we got something to hang on to
again.
You know what I mean? Like you kind of brought that culture back.
Yeah.
And,
well, for me, the Broncos are a very unique club, and I've been fortunate. I've been at 3 great clubs and had success at three clubs. So the Raiders, their culture is different to the culture of the Melbourne Storm, to the culture of the Broncos. Few things are similar, but they're different clubs and they're different people and different organisations. And I was very fortunate to be, at the Raiders when they were being successful, and then in my playing days, at the Broncos through the 90s, and then the Melbourne Storm. I had 3 years down there as assistant coach, and it was, some things. If you try and take the Melbourne Storm culture and drop it into the Broncos, it's not going to work. Not going to work. And Broncos have their own unique identity. And I feel that's what I promoted when I was there, but others thought that it wasn't sort of good enough, which I get that, so we just move on.
But the 60-minute mark of the 2023 grand final, what are you thinking? Did your mind throw forward to what this could be?
It did for one little second, and then I stopped it. Someone in the coach's box might have said, "Whoa, we got this," and I thought, no, maybe not that, but just you. Well, the whole stadium felt it. Let's be real.
I was watching on TV. Everyone thought it.
Well, everyone sitting at home felt the same thing. So that's not an unnatural feeling, right? But I feel like as a group, and I'll take some responsibility for it, certainly, up in the coach's box, we stopped playing. We stopped playing Broncos footy. And we
protective.
protect
the lead.
And you think that those great tries that Ezra scored and Walshy, that's just playing footy. That's what the Broncos are good at. And that's the way we coach, and I coached, is to, bring your skills, let's play to your skills, play to your strengths. And that was their strength, was to play footy. And then we got in front, and for whatever reason, we stopped playing. We started to play someone else's
football.
football.
Nathan come into it.
Yeah, and then Nathan got a sniff of, hang on, these blokes, they don't think they've won this yet. Or they're protecting. Well, let's go after it. And they did. And some things are just meant to happen. Like that night, we were meant to lose. And Penrith were meant to win. I've heard Phil Gill talk about the footy guides. Well, they weren't on our side that night. They were on Penrith. And just little things in games happened. The Herbie Farn, when they got their first try, all year we said to Herbie when he comes out of dummy half, try and promote a little pass there because you bring defenders to you. There might be some space on the outside. The only time he probably passed a couple of times, but this night in the grand final, he passes, the ball hits the ground, Penrith pick it up, and they score a try within 2 tackles, So that's just the football gods. And the last try that Nathan scored, well, that's just brilliant from him. We were a bit inept with our defence, but they were just meant to win.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website